Okay, I'm Brett Grinde. First, I'd like to thank the opportunity for being up here, like the college providing this opportunity, and all the hard work that the other people are doing for this. Basically, I kind of gave a long brief of my background, etc. But long story short, I worked for the county for 30 years. I was an investigator for the last 20. Pine City Fire Department, I was a volunteer. My family's lived here for 33 years. 2 daughters, got a grandson. Both kids are married off. We love the community. We've been here. We've had a reason to move for other things, sick relatives up on the range and everything else. But you know what? We just love the school system, the waterways, the community, and basically, that's about it. I think everything else is in the line.
Thank you, sir. Josh, before I turn to you, audience in the back, do we need to use the microphone? You're okay. Josh, 2 minutes. Please, anything you want to add to your resume that you turned?
First of all, I'd like to thank the Pine City Area Chamber of Commerce and Window Victims Services for co-chairing this event. Pine Technical College for hosting it, and each and every one of you guys for showing up. It's nice to see people want to get informed, the people that they want to learn. Real quick, bio on me, 35 years old, lived here my whole life, got a wife of 10 years, 3 kids. Tyler's 8, Colton's 5, and Evan was born May 8th. So 6-month-old, or almost 6-month-old there. The current president and one of the founding board members of Pine Riders ATV Club. And I'm also was appointed to the Pine County Board of Adjustments last year, so you have some background in decision making and that stuff. With the Pine Riders ATV Club, it's got me into the DNR system, a lot of other public servant type entities. So the reason I'm running is I live here, I work here, I volunteer here. My kids go to school here. I have a long life ahead of me. The decisions we make today are going to affect me, my family going forward. I'm the 3rd generation in my parents' auto parts store that my grandfather Lenny started back in 1972. So we are well rooted in the area, not going anywhere. I'm always approachable.
Josh, what are your plans to address economic development, job creation, and business creation and retention in Pine County?
Well, that's pretty easy. The biggest thing businesses in Pine County need is lower taxes, or keeping the taxes as low as possible. We still need to provide services. Everybody wants their roads plowed, their roads graded. Everybody wants police officers and fire departments out there. But we need to keep the cost of business the lowest possible for the county to get people to want to do business in this county. My biggest concern would be to strengthen current businesses. It's a lot easier to add a job or 2 to a business that's already established in the county than it is to try to create new businesses. On that note, it is very important that we do have new businesses come to this county, and I would prioritize trying to make our county more attractive to outside business. So one big thing is I do believe instead of cities competing for businesses, we do need to create a unified front to concentrate on them coming to the county, and from there on hash out the little bit of details on why whatever city would be more important for them to establish. So, thank you.
Thank you. Brett, what are your plans to address economic development, job creation, and business creation and retention in Pine County?
When I received this question, I had a lot of other questions that just came to me. It's a 3-part question. For me, that I don't own a business. I see a lot of other questions I had to address, and I kind of looked at that from a county commissioner point of view, and what can one county commissioner do to create business success, and what can one county commissioner do to make sure that business doesn't fail. Another question that came to my mind, what can one county commissioner do to address growth, retention, and what is a job? You think about what's a job. A job is what providing shelter, food, heat, water, but it's also a family enjoying life in a community. So I kind of had to look at this thing and kind of break it down, and I really realized it is simple, but you got to look at the big picture and look at what people's needs are. And so I kind of looked. I know friends that own businesses and stuff like that, and what do they see? Well, they grew up in the area. They created businesses. They have their family here because they like this area. And then, so I kind of said, okay, one county commissioner, really, there is no power to one county commissioner. It's a county board that works together as a team. So that's what you have to do, and there's, a county commissioner has 39 committees, if I remember correctly, to be on, besides going to county board meetings and managing government within the county. So now, you're putting on more weight. In the last 30, 40 years ago, I read studies upon studies on this, and really these studies didn't give an answer. All it told me is 40, 50 years ago, federal and the state government kind of let the counties run their own budget and do their own thing. But in the last 30, 40 years, the biggest growing government there is county government. So it got more confusing. Long story short, what county commission can do is create a strong infrastructure, and what Pine County has to do is use all its resources, including this college, the EDA, the economic development, hospitals, technology, and you've got to prove that, but you've got to have a good base of government to do that, and that's what a good county board working together can do. Use your pipelines in this county. You've got freeway systems. You've got Highway 70, 35, and you got waterway systems that, and you also got to look at geography of this county. As Markville has different needs, Sturgeon Lake has different needs, and Pine City has different needs. Once you understand that, you have a good foundation of government. You can apply those needs using other resources that are on.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I've had a request from the back of the room to give you the microphone. So, it's on.
Carrie.
Yeah, just what no harm in First question from the audience. This will go to Brett first. Would you share your position on the Northern Lights Express or NLX? Would you share your position on the Northern Lights Express or NLX?
Well, like I explained in the, we just had this question to us in the newspaper last week. The best summary of it is it's not at this time because of all the weight that comes with it. The studies they have, they don't have the answers. The studies they have, they don't have the amount it's going to cost this area. You look at rural areas, then you have to look at metropolitan areas. Does it work in Washington? They even have problems with their systems in Washington and San Francisco. So here we are in East Central Minnesota. Is it going to come sometime? Is the growth going to come to East Central Minnesota for us to make that work, for cities to Duluth? Probably not in my lifetime, but it is going to come if urban sprawl keeps happening, and it's guaranteed that's going to keep happening. The cost, and with the tax base and the unknown tax base, to me and all the constituents in this county, it's they don't even have a number, let alone. But I'd like to see senior citizens and everybody else in need and handicapped people get on a train and get down to the Vets Hospital or get over and go somewhere shopping. That would be excellent. There are bus transit set up, and I know there's not enough bus transit for the elderly. And the veterans, there's like over 2,000 veterans in this county. Are they getting the right assistance? I don't think veterans ever get the right assistance that they need. And there's not that much transportation provided, but they need more. So at this point in time, my answer is no at this point in time. And would I like to see it in the future? Yeah, it's gonna happen, it's gonna come, but not in my lifetime. Not to say future generations, it's gonna happen.
Josh, would you share your position on the Northern Lights Express or NLX?
My position is simply no. This county cannot afford it. The studies that I've seen is this is a $1 billion project. The counties are going to be on the hook for a good part of it. Early estimates from the DOT is, the MnDOT is, it could cost our county $100 million just in building this railroad. Now, we have a little over $42 million budget. How are we going to work that into our budget? On top of that, once the railroad is established, we have to subsidize fares because it can't operate just on we had to make the fares lower, so we need to subsidize these fares. That on early estimates could cost the county $10 million a year. Then again, on a $42 million budget, where are we going to find that money? Another couple things that was brought to my attention by previous county commissioners long ago was, what about all the rural railroad crossings? A lot of people live in rural areas here where the line would go through. Some people have a railroad crossing just to get to their house as a driveway. The type of crossings they would have to put on these would cost too much money, so they would simply close them. So you might have to go a short distance might take you a lot longer, a lot more miles traveling. So back to the beginning, as we just simply can't afford it as a county.